Come on, dig into that soul, Chris. Come on. Show the fuckers that you want this, partner. Show these fuckers that you get it. Dig. There we go. There we go. There we go. Make them combinations fast. Come on. Trust in your speed, son.
He got that killer instinct. He know what it takes to get it done.
4 minutes.
That's why it's easy training with him, because he trains so hard.
In terms of my training in my camp, I love combat. I love testing myself.
What's the word, Chris?
Did some cardio earlier.
No, Wednesday we got 12 rounds, so 12 3-minute rounds.
Inside camp, Chris Eubank Jr. is dialed in. Sharpening his skills under the guidance of his legendary father, Chris Eubank Sr. with the Benn rematch closing in, the duo is mixing old-school toughness with modern technique. SR. Trademark discipline and focus are shaping every session, turning this camp into a story of legacy, redemption, and the Eubank name rising once again.
This is my first full camp in Dubai. I've actually, I've wanted to train out here more consistently for a long time. It's the perfect environment. The gyms are amazing, the nutrition, the food, the sun. As long as you don't get distracted with all the distractions of Dubai, I think it's an amazing place to kind of focus and hone your skills in the fight world.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Work the roll.
The rematch between Chris Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn fast approaching. Eubank's camp is full of intensity and focus. Their first showdown at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in April 2025 saw Eubank Jr. take a solid points win after a tough 12-round war, and the anticipation for part 2 is only growing.
Get into this fight and find his range, but find his range he did. They just exchanged the rounds one by one. Eventually, Conor Benn looked like he was slowing down, but he found a second wind and managed to take it back to Chris Eubank Jr., particularly just with really aggressive punches. Chris Eubank Jr. working the body, Conor Benn trying to find that knockout punch. It was chaotic, a barrage from both fighters in those final few rounds, and so hard to call. On the fan scorecards, it was level, 114 to 114, and no one could separate these two. But you heard it there, Chris Eubank Jr. wins, and not only does that on unanimous decision, but does it to inflict Conor Benn's first ever.
The stats from their first fight told the tale. Eubank Jr. landed 367 of 912 punches, while Benn managed 215 of 593. Despite being the older fighter and enduring a grueling camp, Eubank Jr. still came out on top. The bigger story, however, was the weight cut. He missed the limit by just 0.05 pounds, resulting in a fine and a hospital visit after the bout. Heading into the rematch, Eubank Jr. is the favorite and vows to finish Benn decisively this time. His father, Chris Eubank Sr., has expressed both pride and concern, questioning whether the fight should proceed under the same risky weight conditions that nearly pushed his son to the edge in their first encounter.
Drained, they put a rehydration clause in. They fined him some £500,000 for coming in, 2 ounces over the weight. It was reported to me by Lawrence Lustig, who is a very famous photographer. Junior wasn't even sweating at the end of the fight. Dehydration. These rules are in place to save my son, to save the lives of fighters. Unfortunately, the reporters, the journalists are not doing their job. They're not holding them to account. Gareth Davis, do your job. Simon Jordan, you speak on boxing, do your job. You are not credible if you let these things happen. What you are is a jester. As I said after the fight, Conor Benn is an extraordinary fighter. Fighting at 156 or fighting a fighter at 160, he doesn't get back down to 147. And if he does, he's not the fighter he could have been. They are dangerous, they are reckless. If the Boxing Board of Control don't do what they're supposed to do, which is to block fights from happening which do not abide by the weights and the rules. You are baboons. I'm not a baboon, and I know this life. I've gone up to cruiserweight, fighting Carl Thompson. Watch that fight. Both of them. Where you're watching one man who is almost twice the size of me. So it seems, I say this sparingly, seemingly killing me. And it looks like a fight because the smaller guy, me, has heart. And nothing is going to stop me. No threat. Nothing's going to stop me. I'm going to put a picture up of my eye. It looked like my eye was pregnant and giving birth. That's these promoters pulling me into a fight that I need for the money. So I say, no, I'll do it. But the Boxing Board of Control is not supposed to allow that to happen. So now when I speak on it for my own son, people say, oh, well, you know, he's overreacting. I'm not over.
Chris Eubank Jr.'s camp is fully focused as the rematch with Conor Benn approaches. Training has honed in on correcting the mistakes from their first fight. Eubank Jr. knows his earlier victory relied on grit and ring intelligence. And now he's determined to deliver an even more dominant, decisive performance.
What that session involved and the benefits for him.
We call that the Xbox, 6 different stations. You got 3 coaches, you got 3 different obstacles to push you as far as your power shots, your speed, your slipping, your rhythm, your sprints, your endurance on throwing your power shots and stepping over. So we usually do that once a week to push the fighter, and then every week we go up.
Pick it up. Keep pushing. Push. More. There you go. Almost there. Come on, let's go. Come on, Chris. Here we go. Keep it up. Go. Come on, keep it up.
Eubank Jr.'s Dubai camp is all business as the rematch approaches. Cutting out distractions, he's fully committed to intense sparring and tough conditioning. While his father will support him from ringside, the training is entirely under Jr.'s control. One sparring partner revealed he's tackling long 4-minute rounds with minimal rest to boost both stamina and tactical sharpness under fatigue.
Full camp in Dubai. I've actually, I've wanted to train out here more consistently for a long time. It's the perfect environment. The gyms are amazing, the nutrition, the food, the sun. As long as you don't get distracted with all the distractions of Dubai, I think it's an amazing place to kind of...
Chris Eubank Jr. has brought back veteran trainer Brian McIntyre, who previously guided Terence Crawford to undisputed glory. This move signals that Eubank isn't just aiming to repeat his first win, he wants to dominate the rematch. McIntyre says Eubank Jr. has shown all the signs of a fighter who fully understands Benn, with a mindset that's disciplined, focused, and driven. Unlike past camps, Jr. is pushing harder than ever, fueled by a real hunger to secure a decisive victory.
Keep grinding, to the next fighter.
Did you get to make it back over for the victory parade?
Yes,
or
definitely we had to come back for the parade. That was beautiful what the city did for Bud.
How was that? Yeah, because we've even seen other fights before where there's been a great turnout, but this looked like a whole new level. And so right, it should have been.
I can imagine it probably close to 1 million people there. I would think, man, it was beautiful. It was beautiful.
Crawford's obviously enjoying some well-deserved time off, but has he spoken to you any more about what kind of next steps would be for him, what he wants?
No, not yet. We talked a little bit yesterday, but we didn't discuss anything about boxing. So we just making sure, I was checking with him, making sure the gym was going good, the kids was getting a good workout, and we're putting on another show for our up-and-coming fighters. So, he's working on that, and while I'm working with Chris.
Working with Chris, exactly. You are back working with Chris Eubank Jr. You're with him for the rematch against Liam Smith. How did it come about, you coming back into camp with him for this one?
Well, while we was finishing up with Crawford, Chris's guys, they hit me up maybe a month out and asked me would I be, interested. I told them, of course, right away, because I felt like that me and Chris got a good repertoire together, and we got a good relationship, and we come out with good results.
The rivalry between Chris Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn echoes the legendary battles of their fathers in the early 90s. Chris Eubank Sr. and Nigel Benn first clashed in November 1990, with Eubank stopping Benn in the 9th round to claim the WBO middleweight title, creating one of British boxing's most iconic rivalries. Now, decades later, their sons have reignited that legacy. In the first Benn versus Eubank Jr. fight, Benn moved up in weight to face the naturally bigger Eubank Jr., showing incredible heart and grit, even as Eubank's size and experience gave him a clear advantage.
Putting the bag on Conor Benn, and here's why. I believe we've seen this type of fight before. The similarities are unreal. 2008. A 29-year-old Manny Pac-Man Pacquiao faced a 35-year-old Oscar De La Hoya. Oscar De La Hoya was the favorite in that fight against Manny Pac-Man Pacquiao because not only was Oscar De La Hoya an experienced and fantastic fighter, he was just naturally the bigger man, and they thought Manny Pacquiao was insane. Chris Eubank Jr., as the bigger man and skilled fighter, people are seeing him as the favorite. And me too, I am predicting a Chris Eubank Jr. win. But where I'm going to put my money is going to be on Conor Benn because of the history, the similarities of what we saw in 2008 with Manny Pacquiao and Oscar De La Hoya. No, Conor Benn is no Manny Pac-Man Pacquiao, but don't get it confused. Chris Eubank Jr. is definitely.
Fraser Clark weighed in on the epic showdown between Chris Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn, saying the judge's decision was fair. He praised both fighters for their courage, determination, and the thrilling action that highlighted British boxing. Chris Eubank Sr. made a surprise appearance midway through the undercard, energizing the crowd of over 65,000 fans. Nigel Benn was also present and welcomed the moment, calling it a positive experience for both families and the sport.
Here as well, sir, you turned up to support your son. What a night.
Well, you know, I was always going to be here for my son, irrespective of what you thought. I mean, it's a show. So suspense is part of the game. Now, the performance, championship rounds, standing toe-to-toe, the credit I'm going to give to Conor. I told you he was a superior fighter, but he shouldn't be fighting at 160 or 156. He's a 147 fighter. What couldn't he do around the world? He's been destroyed by the people who are handling him, and they have to be brought to account. Do your job. Do your job. Do your job.
It's great to see you.
Chris Eubank Sr. has criticized the terms of his son's fight, claiming promoters prioritize profit over safety. He says Jr. was forced to make a strict 160-pound limit and follow a tough rehydration rule, leaving him drained in the ring. According to Sr., these measures were less about protecting Eubank Jr. and more about creating a dramatic, revenge-boosting storyline.